Welcome to session number 4 of Cereza and the Lost Demon. We were actually interrupted by a disconnection at the end of the previous stream, but we didn't lose too much of that. After that, I just went to the nearest save point, which is where we originally intended to stop anyway. I thought I could do a little bit more, but then internet service here had other plans. And so, good evening as well, F. Belmont. Welcome. We're about to start right before a rather major inflection point here. As you can see from the recap, to do our ambush by a monster with armor that proves a Cheshire's claws meaningless. That was, of course, the Jabberwock, which I didn't know was in this game, but given that we already had a Cheshire Cat, I guess everybody's in the party. So, we're going to continue over here with a file that's at 53%. We are just about to pick up orb number 3 of 4. Which will give us, I believe, the power of water. So back into Chapter 7 we go. And so hopefully everything on the technical side of the stream will remain functional today. But yeah, this is where we left off. We had arrived in this location, which gives you this view of where the third elemental core is located, right in the middle of the screen. And we had, at the end of the previous stream, explored a little further, going up a lift upstairs that took us to the neighboring region of the Sunspeckled Grove. I say neighboring even though, as you can see on the map, they aren't actually contiguous. And so we had wound up somewhere here, and then we had a disconnection there, but again, we didn't get very far, so I had some original intention of exploring further in here, but instead we'll just continue from this save point and do whatever is natural. One thing you'll note, incidentally, about the map in this game is that, yeah, none of the regional transitions, so there's no cursor here I can use to scroll around the map, which means that none of the arrows that connect you between regions actually show you where the connections go, which I think is maybe a bit of an oversight, given that they don't necessarily lead to adjacent regions, as we just saw with that one there, actually linking to one of the arrows on this level, I think it was, the one that is on the top right. And I guess it lends the game this feeling that this forest is this place in which you can get very easily lost, but at the same time, you have to think that the design of the 2D map is actually kind of letting down the intricacy of the way that the world is put together, because it is very intricate, it's beautiful, you can actually understand a lot of how it's constructed just from looking at the scenery. But the map itself is not very useful. Now, last time we were here, we passed by the save point without plugging in any upgrades because we were just a little short in currency. But after having made just a brief diversion past the save point, we actually do have quite a lot more cash on hand, so I think we will finally get Infernal Bond 2 going for some of that replenishment. I think that's likely going to be what I upgrade next. Yeah, the quick recast is good too, but in general, I don't think it has been too much of an issue to have enough thorns available. What we do need to do is get Cheshire back in the fight as quickly as possible when he does run out of juice in one of his elemental forms. So there's a lot of meter management that we're still learning as we go. And then we'll see what is unlocked over here. Press L in hug mode to make Cereza channel magical energy into Cheshire. Okay, so there's a bit of an instant replenishment if you're really desperate. Oops, let's take a look at Cheshire's upgrades. In case we have anything we want to do, but we don't have any infernal fruit available, so likely we won't plug in anything just yet. We might give him this additional boost in health, but we do want to save up some currency later to make sure that once we do get some infernal fruit and the power of water, that we can get the water upgrade as well. So perhaps all we'll do for the moment is give him some additional durability. And then, from this point, we will continue. Okay, so yeah, this fellow here is for fast travel. We don't need him. Let's continue and let's head down. So the last time we were here, we headed all the way to the right side and discovered a lift that took us over to another region. Again, very easy to lose your place when exploring all of this, but as you can see, we have been here previously to pop the chest. And yeah, last time it was here that we diverted to the right, so I think this time we will be going down. Because we had operated the lift that is over, not here, but somewhere nearby. I don't quite recall, to be honest. Ah yes, we operated this lift. This was what took us upstairs, back up to the Sun-Speckled Grove. That will likely be one of our ways back once we have the power of water, because we do know there are some things over in that region that are gated by fire, like some chests that are enveloped in fire. Looked like we might require the power of wind at some point, but if it's water that's meant to turn some of the wheels instead, we'll discover that pretty soon. Alright, let's snag what we can here and just discover if there's anything else on this side. I don't think there is. I think maybe that's all there was to it. That's a little strange, but I guess that's absorption for its own sake. Yeah, we do have to get in the habit of keeping Cheshire in its standard form a little more often, just as a form of energy management. Of course, over here, we can't really traverse. So yeah, when we use them situationally, let's actually bring him back to this, and then we have this Amethyst Summoner here who's going to drop a bomb on us. This color coding tells me I should probably fight it with stone. And it's a Model P. Do they only come in yellow? And, yeah, Julia Kellen, welcome. Okay, so this guy's going to try to explode. Let's see if we can counter him. Yeah, it looks like the stone form actually is able to do a deflection on that. But I don't know how to kill it necessarily. Okay. Let's chop this. And then get back to this form. We probably... Okay, yeah, that actually was an explosion that took off the entire energy bar. Let's not do that. And let's lock him down. And we're doing alright here today, thank you very much. Yeah, we're not really in the market for stream artwork if that's what you're offering, but thank you. Now let's see what we can do over here. But yeah, we already have an artist partnership, but thank you. Now, let's see here. We're going to absorb this one. And I don't know if there's any particular reason why we might want to stop this, but this one, as you can see, is kind of shaking. I think something is probably buried underneath, so we'll fish it out. And okay, it's just currency. I haven't really gotten anything useful out of flipping these just yet, but maybe it'll be useful for some puzzle interaction eventually. Now we do see some rosemary coming up, which tells me that we are going to have to split forces here for a moment and keep them in the stomp mode. Here's the question: how do I get across? Probably. Oh no, we need to stomp this first and we'll raise the platform. Yeah, of course. That was an accidental input. And what is that? Okay, we can just pick that up. Also, before we do this, yes, we can also, if we can get Cereza up there, continue exploring on the left side as well. But we can check both because there is a treasure chest on this direction. So, because you compress, she should be able to climb up, right? No, she can't. So she will go this way. Whoops, there we go. Slightly time sensitive, but not too much. We'll pop the treasure chest before we do anything, as well as grow this, which probably creates a passage. Seeing more of these with 4 nodes now. As the moon dance interaction becomes a little more elaborate. And okay, so that's a return path. We don't need to take that yet. But it will eventually allow Cheshire to hook the platform over and drag her back. Let's not get out of range. And yeah, that'll allow her to be pulled over to the higher elevation. I don't think there's anything over there, so okay, we'll switch to this mode. And we'll try to get within range to do the tongue grab. We're at a long range, actually. Goes quite far. And she'll be able to get back over here. Retract, and then let's jump. And, of course, we can poke a few more nodes, maybe? No, maybe not this one. This next area looks like a fight waiting to happen, and indeed we're going to activate it. Alright. Salamander Firestarter. We don't have water yet to counter these, but I guess we'll pick up the water power to learn how to counter these. This will be what we eventually have to learn how to fight. So, and yeah, we have to not step into the fire, so let's make sure camera-wise we're staying near the bottom just for now. We'll try to bind some of these. And try to combo them accordingly. Something tells me doing the platform is not a good idea here, but we'll chomp this guy first to replenish magic meter. And just do a stun. And then we can do the finisher this way. Nope. Didn't mean to push the action button by mistake, because we do need to stomp this guy out here. Okay, let's retract for a moment, just to recharge. We'll go back into the stone form, just so we can get the stun lock. Stun, and then chomp. Okay, now we've got to retract the shield. Let's break the stone shield first before we do anything. I don't really know if I took some punishment there, but we'd better... Whoops, once again. A little bit of muscle memory fooling me here, because always very tempting to just push the action button for everything, and that's obviously wrong. So yeah, we don't have a hard counter to fire yet, but we'll obviously pick one up with water at the end of the sequence. And that looks like the thing that's going to happen. We're just switching back to standard form to conserve power, just trying to get into the habit of doing that mid-fight. And then work on some of those form switch combos along the way. Perfect. Okay, now let's absorb this and see what happens. This does open up an additional path. It looks like an additional path that will point to a sanctuary. Unless, of course, it just points back to the preceding sanctuary. Okay, so it does lead to a new sanctuary. Oh, we should obviously take a look at it. Although it looks like we're fairly close to getting the water orb, but it will proceed for a bit longer, this whole sequence here. So I think we should explore just to see where we're going to be on a map, because there might be some connectivity to another existing zone. And also we can see on the map that it is fairly close, perhaps, to an area that could deliver us one of the wisps that we are trying to free along the way. So yeah, it might also just be a shortcut back to the existing sanctuary that we know, but we'll discover that along the way as we sweep for traps. That's just a jumping location. Yeah, because obviously by the time we retrieve the water power, there will be some return paths that we need to deal with. And we'll check both pathways. Yeah, here's the one to free. It looks like this is just a return pathway back to the point at which we started this session. Great. We haven't really been looking at the wisps inside the encyclopedia, but who knows, maybe some of their profiles will eventually be interesting. This looks like a lift. And we'll see where it links up. Again, probably just to the existing sanctuary, but I don't know if this unlocks an effective shortcut. Not going to jump down just yet until we've had a chance to explore up here. And drop this, which looks like it's an extensible ladder, if I had to guess. Aiming just a little bit better today on the dance. I'll snap that ladder together and come back down. Yeah, this is where we started out, so it is just a looping shortcut in case you want to rest in and learn anything along the way. I think we'll be fine, though. So, yeah, maybe we'll just heal up these two little petals here. And we'll just go back and continue. All the way back down. Don't know if there's anything else to look at over there. Not yet, but we'll be descending a little further, and there are obviously a couple of locations to uncover. All right, let's proceed and see what else we can open up here. Okay, it's the same fight that we had previously. And that's okay, we'll basically just practice it. Stun this guy. And look at that, that combo. Managed to down this guy as well. And we'll make short work of that pair. And yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be the way down, but that's because currently we have no way across. That'll be a shortcut that we uncover from the other side as we build that bridge. That certainly looks like it's going to be the case. So we'll just make sure we come up the left side later, and remember to do so, and open up the shortcut then. Which, after all, will be the quick path back to the sanctuary.
I wonder
In the meantime,
if we're in that monster's territory.
Looks like we'll be
As
taking
the
another
words
lift.
came out, Cereza was gripped by fear. But she knew it was too late to turn back.
Well, I mean, we're right by the path to the sanctuary. It's definitely not too late to turn back. Turn back out of the forest? Well, yes, it's out of the question at this point. But anyway, lift going down. There is a save point up here, as well as a little chest popping challenge. Okay.
Over here!
Nope. Actually pretty tricky to do that. My aim is not great with her, but she can aim at a pretty decent range. She just needs to be aiming in the correct direction, which is sometimes easier said than done, and of course warping. Oh, come on. No, I shouldn't have frozen that over there when it was elevated too high. Cheshire doesn't actually have a good way to reach it. Then all right. As well whip this one first. And that will be done. Save point is up ahead. Wolf tracks are also leading that way, so we'll avoid that for the moment while we take a moment to explore and probably try to unlock that shortcut that we had noticed on the way in. It looks likely to be this way, but we'll clear the combat challenge first. We'd better get rid of the shield guy before anything else happens. And do a fire lockdown on this side. And finish up with a chop there to replenish energy. I guess we did get that in the end. We still have to figure out a lot of the timings for some of the advanced combo mechanics, which we would probably need if we do the time trial dungeons eventually, but which, due to the lack of performance medals, the game doesn't really push you to learn at this stage. It's satisfying to master anyway, though, and I'm sure and there will be a purpose to it as we get a bit further. There's another chest that we have not yet acquired the means to approach. Possibly something can be done using that waterfall. But if that's the case, we don't know that yet. Let's do some absorption just to increase her meter here. And yeah, here we can't really traverse yet. I did see a stone that implies that the level of the water here can be lowered even further. And we'll eventually look for some of that. Here's another big jar. Yeah, so all of this looks like dead end right now. And probably with whatever you unlock in the water dungeon, it's probably just a spout of water that is used to turn those mechanisms there, which would then raise a platform for you to proceed down the right side. That's what I'm guessing at this point. So yeah, I assumed all the time that it was wind power, but it looks like it's probably going to be water power that does that for you. So we'll get a save point here because it looks like that'll be before something important. But we know at this point that we're right about at the water orb, so. Yeah, fairly relaxed tempo at this point, but I'm sure the complexities will compound with time. Surprise! That's fine, we can do it. Oh, we should have locked it down. Yeah, actually that takes off way too much. You can handle it, but I think we should just dodge for all of these. You can deflect it with stone, but it does eat up the whole meter, so. I don't know if the standard counter can do anything with that, I would guess not. But we haven't really tried very much with those enemies yet, and the set of enemies you can spawn in the training mode is pretty limited, so. We'll go up eventually. I do want to check this side first just to see what's going on. Yes, it looks like we'll eventually be able to stop that to break this entire dam. And that's will change the water level once more. It would actually probably raise the water level of everything down below and change the level layout quite drastically. So we're about to go there. We won't get stopped by the plants, so we'll head off to the left side first to uncover this. And that's as far as we can go over here, so I guess we are indeed going to break them. In just a moment. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we can do here. We're going to smash that up. And we'll be able to proceed here, but who knows what's going to happen down below. So, let's smash it. I think she should probably stand out of the way for a moment. Although, I don't know if that'll affect anything. We'll just get washed away anyway, no doubt. Interesting that I can stay up above, but that there's no particular point to doing so because, yeah, you would want to continue around here anyway, so. Unless there's something on the other side that we could have gone to. Actually, let's do that. Let's pull back for just one moment and check the left side in case anything has opened up conveniently. Since we've been able to get back here right away, I mean, we could also have walked down there and climbed up this ladder that we opened up on the right side. But yeah, no difference over here. But we will continue. And, oh, yeah, that's right. I can go down this way. Slide down this way. And nowhere but forward at the moment. Well, something's been trapped. We'll open this up first. Oh yes, this is one of those platforms that is going to be draggable. And Cheshire would be able to drag over here. Just getting a lay of the land for the moment. Let's actually see. And this platform is not one of the ones that can be activated. It's going to be one that you stomp somewhere else to raise. So it looks like we'll probably click the switch first, and then after the bridge has been constructed, we'll open up the platform and drag it. So Cheshire's going to be in this form for sure. Something must have had a big tantrum. Okay, pretty simple so far. And can we actually grab from over here? Seems a bit far. I think we grab it first and then move Cheshire and then move it again. That would be a sensible thing. I bet we can tug it quite a bit further, in fact. In case that is useful for anything, say, over on this side. Whoop, nope. Can't really get over there. Alright. That's fine, we'll go around at some point. Yeah, I've got a bit of a launch pad over here, but we'll have to toss Cheshire to make some use of it. And use this as a launcher. Yeah. Or not a launcher, but I guess a way to just raise the platform. Can't really progress over to the right side just yet, so let's snap ourselves over. Here's the Jabberwock. Maybe we do have to fight him again before we have access to the water orb. Now, I am forced to walk slowly here, and although Cheshire isn't. But Cereza is paralyzed by fear. This reminds me also of certain escape sequences in the Ori games by Moon Studio, which, despite being side-scrollers, are pretty close analog to some of the ideas that we've seen over the course of this adventure in both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisp. And because those games are just full of escape sequences of a very cinematic nature. Okay, she's a little frightened. Was it because I was out of range? It may have been, unless there's a soft timer on it. Cheshire will obviously have to stop this, but we'll see. Yeah, no, that's the only thing you can do here. So yeah, kind of glad we didn't try to rush our way to the water orb at the end of the stream yesterday when we had a disconnection, because we have a pretty sizable sequence over here anyway where we'll have to employ the play space to deal with the Jabberwock instead of taking it down on a head-to-head fight. So this will be interesting, I guess. Do we get to do anything with this fight? So we'll basically probably have to move Cereza around to use the space to weaken the Jabberwock, so Cheshire can get in there for a death blow. since you are required to use Cheshire in the stone form to activate this cutscene in the first place, then you only see the sequence in a stone form ever. Whereas some of the other cinematics in the game do respond dynamically, I think, to which form you have Cheshire in at a time. It's not. Well, she's going to find some new power within herself. Okay, use your hair. Summon somebody else to aid, perhaps, or just wrap him up with a new medium. Let's fight. And what will she do to prove it?
I can do to save.
Wrap your hair around him, I think. No? Thorn Vice. Okay, this is a new ability. After certain enemy attacks, a mark will appear above their head. Use Zedal to perform a more powerful bind. Thorn Vice is able to hold enemies for longer, and enemies will take more damage while bound. Okay, so at a certain moment, there will be a weak point for Cereza's offensive ability, much as there is a weak point for the Chomp for Cheshire. Yeah, let's maybe get out of range for the moment. Okay, so basically, oh. Nope, I was trying to bind it, and I think I was just out of position. But basically, we need to dodge until we reach the point. Oh yeah, there's a sanctuary here too, but we have to clear the Jabberwock to use it. But yeah, okay, now we use ZL. But we need Cheshire out to do it, so she can actually bind. So we basically have to wait for the opening, and that's all there is to it. The rest of the fight looks like it's defensive. Look, the armor's off, now we can fight. Okay, never mind. I suppose it's not a Frabjous day. Also, my audio is dead, isn't it? I don't know how long it's been dead. Let's fix it, because we hadn't had this problem previously with this game. And the voice acting is actually quite nice to behold, so hopefully we hadn't lost too much footage here. Give me one moment. We'll try to repair. That's too bad. That was quite a nice sequence. I hope we hadn't lost audio for all of it. Good thing I checked before things got out of hand. Should be working now.
Oh, thank goodness. I wonder if that fairy will be back. But now we know it's not completely invincible.
Invigorated from the battle, Cereza was almost confident. Cheshire was in a sour mood. A part of him realized that if it were not for Cereza's actions, he would currently be dragon food. But he just could
too bad
not
we might have lost audio
accept that
for
he had been saved by someone
at a
he
significant
considered
moment
so
here.
far
That whole
beneath
cinematic.
him.
If I'm going to be an Umbra witch, I can't be afraid of an overgrown lizard like that. We'll get him next time, Cheshire.
As she said these words, Cheshire noticed something in Cereza not present in the timid girl he had met earlier. The prideful demon turned away and pretended not to hear her.
Yeah, too bad about that. But we'll check afterwards and see what the damage was. Regardless, looks like we should be able to unlock a new save point here. Not a full sanctuary necessarily, because you don't have the ability that helps you warp, but you do have the opportunity to grab some additional upgrades, which is interesting. Probably because after you get the water orb, if we have the resources, we can upgrade that right away. We'll definitely want to save here first, though. Nothing new percentage-wise. More slots in the skill tree to look at. Yeah, we can afford a recast at this point. Thorn Vice, but it looks like there's something else that will be unlockable here, and perhaps we should wait for that before spending. And maybe even save up for the buddy charge, because again, refreshing isn't too much of an issue right now, but yeah, we better save up. Just for the moment. Okay, now we'll grab a journal page, which may tell us more about the Jabberwock for all we know. The Jabberwock of Wyvern Falls. Oops. Explosive fruit. Okay, so basically if we eventually have a boss fight that will have bomb fruit, then we use the Dodongo method. Except it doesn't work, apparently. Well, so much for that, and Ignis has just decided to write that down. And the vile creature has even taken a liking to the fruits. Okay, so bomb fruits will not work. Or so we are told. In case anybody had that bright idea. Anyway, let's again just comb some bushes along the way and proceed along the falls. Actually a rather extensive zone. And once again, yeah, water orbs right over there. It's tantalizingly close, but we're gonna stomp around a bit more first.
Cool.
Okay. Stone form is rather slow, so we'll bring Cheshire
I
back.
won't run anymore. Come on, Cheshire.
Like I turn around now?
Okay, can't run
Cheshire grumbled under
on the
his
remains of
breath.
cages on the side.
He was
Kind of interesting that
itching
these
for
are
a
the same
fight.
cages that we use as our system of lifts to get around the zone. Well, it looks like we have a rather large arena coming, so... And a Jabberwock is right here, spoiling for a fight. Let's kill him. Maybe he's eating more of those bomb fruits to replenish.
Munch.
Munch, munch.
Munch.
Maybe we
The monster.
gun it for the water orb first and use it? No, I don't think so. It has to be a reward for the boss, obviously. Like the journal page was telling us.
settle the score once and for all.
You don't scare me! Not anymore! Come on! Let me help!
Okay. Let's dodge first. Till we understand what to do about him. We need to basically get him weak first. Yeah. So there is a particular vulnerability when you can use the big targeting circle. That's not going to be it. Yeah, maybe Cheshire can poke a little bit first. Retract. Wind form. And then get out of these circles here. Oh. Once again, trying to get in close to bind him will not work. Nope. Maybe we can counter it with Cheshire. No. Nope, he's going to take a little too much punishment for that. Now, I certainly hope the game doesn't try to spoil me on this with too many tutorial messages. We want to figure it out. No. Not very quick here. No, that's the thing, is I'm turning away too quickly. And then that's not getting the stun down anyway, so... There's hook mode. Nope, he's way out of position. Get back here, Cheshire. Nope, we just have not been able to get him close enough. Long enough. Yeah, we need to do some kind of counterattack with Cheshire first, I think. Or maybe when he's doing the projectile attack, then we have an opportunity. Ah, I see. Yeah, you can cling on to that. In that phase, you can use this form to cling onto the projectiles and knock him back. Maybe there's something else we can do with a stone form as well. But we see one potential opening now, which is going to be with the projectiles. Can I stun him out this way? No. Okay, I'm going to back up that way. Took a little bit of chip damage there, not much. So the stone form seemed to work, using the stun like this. Maybe try to knock him down. Nope. Not it. Okay. We need him to... Nope. Failed to grab that. And Nuati, good morning to you too. Hope you've been doing well. Alright. Let's try to retract them. Let's see if maybe it's possible to counter that. Oh wait, we have an opportunity? Rare opportunity. Yeah, we're doing well. Now let's see here. We're just starting to figure out this boss bit by bit. I should probably replenish health. It's not the final boss. This is the third major boss. There are going to be at least 4. Probably 5, in fact, because basically you need to collect 4 major elemental forms for your companion. And then whatever finale is happening is likely to be after that. So this is boss number 3 of major fights. Okay. Just don't really know how to create a lot of the good openings yet with him. Probably the stone could have deflected the beam. But if we can get him to launch projectiles, that'd be great. But Other than that, we just haven't been able to make the opening yet. Stomp him? No. Or use the counter. He's got the beam going. Yeah, we just haven't discovered enough of the counter-attack patterns yet, but right now we'll just play defensively and learn to fight. Maybe if he tries to go for a chomp, we stomp him that way. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have him down partially. It's going to be a phase change. And yeah, I've been doing alright sleep-wise. I operate at rather unorthodox times, but we make it work. Okay, phase change, new arena here. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just back up and not spend too much time on Sludge. You know, I bet we need to use this stone form to stomp some of these platforms, maybe. Maybe not like that, not while I'm standing on them, obviously. But yeah, because we can actually kind of try to drown him a little bit. I need to space things out. No, maybe not. Hang on. Let's go back. And we'll just need to dodge some of this as we go. Oh, I was trying to throw the projectile at him. That didn't quite work. Okay, we finally get an opportunity. Let's try to chip him down. I'm gonna have to heal up for a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to take too many risks when we don't quite know how much damage he'll do in later phases. So what's he gonna do here? I feel like we do need to be stomping on platforms to lower things. But maybe that's not the way to do it. Yeah, because he's actually going to be the one stomping, and we just need to get out of the way. But maybe there will be an opportunity out of that. I feel like we can be doing more projectile deflections as well. So, for example, you can deflect. Nope, totally missed that. Yeah, just need to figure him out. Very interesting fight so far. Okay, let's smash him. Okay, almost down to 50%. Use a stone elemental power. Yeah, don't give me that hit. Trying to. Okay, let's chase him down. Yeah, I think he needs to use the stone power in order to bust a shield. That's what we need to do, just like we did in the cutscene earlier. I didn't know that was stone dependent, but it makes sense for that to be. So, yeah, next time we get the opportunity, we'll switch to stone form. We tried to defeat Ganon and... Oh, in Breath of the Wild, I see. Yeah, it depends how deep you are in late game, I suppose. I think it's maybe a different experience if you go directly to Ganon at the start, which I actually haven't tried, mostly because the save file system in Breath of the Wild is not the most convenient. Do we finally get the bomb him? We're always just a little bit too slow to drop the bomb on him. Oh wait, no, we have an opportunity. Let's go. Okay. Stone form. Okay, we finally got the armor on. Great.
Oh, what now?
We made it mad.
I think we made it mad.
Well, it's flying. That implies that maybe we should use the platform to drag it if we can. Oops. Oh yeah, we need to get out of here and behind the pillar. Not really going to do much else over here. It looks like this thing is about to break. Okay, we'll just need to find a different point.
That looks like it would hurt.
it looks like it would hurt a lot, actually, yes. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay. I feel like I still don't really understand a lot about this fight, so... Can we deflect with that? We can usually deflect with the hand, I just haven't really been able to use it very effectively yet. Okay, used a stone power, tried to break a shield. Nope. That did not go very effectively. Let's heal up. Oh, no, trying to get into counter. We're just not close enough. I'm way off camera. There we go. I wonder if we get to hook onto the tail in one of those forms, but... I just need to get him exhausted. Great. Come on. I just haven't really been able to hit him. Oh, there we go. Armor's off. Let's go. And we made him mad. Okay. Now we hide behind a pillar again. We'll just go fast. You just got a sub somewhere else, as in somebody gifted you a sub? Well, do enjoy. Here, those are the emotes that you're bringing with you. Anyway, can't really do much in this phase. Oh, you know what? The stone form probably would allow me to block, right? I didn't even think about that. That the stone form does actually block the beam. Possibly. Oh, no. Get out. Alright, let's get out of here. Still don't really know how to do much of a close approach against him just yet. Yeah, we should actually chip away at him as often as possible during these other phases. Just keep Cereza at a distance so we don't have too many problems with health. Well, good thing there's no timed boss rush because we have not been doing this effectively. We've burned a lot of energy there on projectile defense. Okay, we got the bind. Let's go. Should have done a charge attack on that one, but I think we're almost done. That's pretty close to the end of the bar. Oh. Did I miss that? Was that supposed to happen? I did set R. Okay, no, this is part of the cutscene, and then now we have to do something to save Cheshire.
That might work.
Okay, let's climb and grab.
I have to help him.
Cheshire can't really change forms while he's pinned down. But then I'm going to weave this. And then, yeah, we have to do this under a bit of a timer. We have to drop this on him. Come on. Oh, do we need to climb to the other one? Yes, we do. And then we have to do so while dodging various attacks. Probably by hiding behind pillars. Oh, whoops, yep. We do see that attack telegraphed. There's something very kind of Captain Toad-like about this sequence. That you're using a character who can't really fight, but You have to walk around the arena to complete the attack on the dragon. Okay, snap that. Down he goes. Cheshire is mad. Interesting that yellow is used as the color of the stone hammer in this game, much like it was in the Wonderful 101. You have to be pretty quick about this.
Heat up now.
There we go.
Until that big belly of yours bursts.
Make that bloom and then bomb him up from the inside. Not bad.
The vile
Thank you so much for the
Jabberwock had been
GGs.
defeated. Cereza was ecstatic. Cheshire turned away. He
Oh,
seemed
Frab
almost
just stay
as
Kaluka.
down as after their last encounter with the monster.
What are you sulking about this time? We won!
Cheshire started grumbling about how Cereza moving around the battlefield made it hard to fight.
That is in fact true.
Cereza's celebration had been
We didn't figure out the
ruined
pattern very well, to
before
be
it
honest.
could even begin.
You do realize it was
Even
thanks
had to blow a healing
my
item at
help
one point.
you were able to defeat that thing, right? You could at least say a word of thanks.
Putting their argument on pause, they ran to keep up with the White Wolf.
Okay, fun fight. Even though I rarely felt like I understood much of it in terms of the pattern, I feel like we missed a lot of potential counter opportunities for sure. But now we've got quite a bit of health to work with.
Cheshire!
And yeah, not much else to collect in this end yet. We'll eventually be doing another Tyraninog on the way over. Oh, I wonder if it's accessible now. Probably not. I think you're meant to go for the water element first before you are allowed to do anything, I would guess. Because it does seem to be forcing you down that path. Yeah, we can't do anything yet. Can I do 100% Mario Odyssey? Well, the problem with that is that I already did 100% Mario Odyssey before I was a streamer. I don't mind doing it again, but it's a lower priority for me because I have already played it with All Moons years ago. And so it would not be a new experience for me. But I do have a rather long list of other games that I mean to get to. And so we'll see a fair bit of variety, and I do plan to do Super Mario Wonder, of course, when it comes out in October. And we're going to be doing that as completely as possible. I'm basically getting through as much of my backlog as I can before Super Mario Bros. Wonder comes out in a month's time. Because we've been playing so many mega-sized games this year, I want to do a couple of short ones along the way. But we will be doing lots more Mario for sure, that's no question.
Another element!
I mean, I might go back to Sunshine at some point, because I do have it in the All-Stars collection in HD, but I haven't actually played through it since the GameCube 20 years ago.
What's wrong? Not even interested
But
in
Sunshine,
getting new power anymore?
you know, is a bit of an uneven game in some places, so I don't know how fun that would be. I've never done anything close to 100% in it. But I hear that, well, and from my own memory of it, with the blue coins and everything, it might be a bit tricky.
Yeah, this won't get you home
But we'll see.
either,
I've got a
but
couple
I'm
of
sure it'll help us get closer.
games on deck, and we'll be keeping things interesting for sure. But yeah, definitely SMP Wonder. I actually recently just got my copy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii back, and so I haven't played that in a very long time. I might try to squeeze that in before Wonder if I can. Either that or an SMBU, but I don't know. I might be a bit tight on time. But those would be fun ones to go back to as well. Possibly before Wonder, so we don't, you know, start lamenting all the things that the series has developed on since. Anyway, destroyed the water elemental core and received its power. Yep, so what is the water form all about? Let's find out.
Let's go!
Does it let me swim? I would assume so. Put out fires, maybe.
Awesome.
Very nice. And yeah, I know about a lot of the NSMB Wii hacks, like newer SMB, that I haven't had the opportunity to try yet. So that might be something fun to do at some point. I know that the team behind the newer SMB has actually been saying for years they wanted to do an expansion/remake, and they have been quietly working on it, but it's one of those projects that disappears for a couple years at a time, and then they release some video of the level they've been working on. So I don't know, but that's still ongoing. So he's going to ride, interact with a water elemental source to absorb its power, and change the water level. Ah, okay, so that's how it's going to work. Interesting. So you can spray that down. It has quite a bit of magic. Oh, interact with it. I guess I need to absorb it. Yes, because if you absorb the water orb, then you lower the water. That makes sense. But let's get a sense of his moves. Yeah, he does water spray that puts out fires. Very graceful attack pattern, actually. Very graceful. And maybe that puts out fires too, but I don't know. We'll do the spray. Alright, spray you down. Just in the face. Look at that, just blasting him at range. Luca, have I played, if you're talking about Sonic Roboblast 2, I have downloaded it, but I have not really messed around with it very much. I basically tried it out and tested it to see if it works, but I didn't actually sit down and play it. I know that Red and I played it not long ago, and I actually was watching a bit of a stream. As you'll probably remember. Anyway, back in Chalkroot Hollow. Okay, that's not where I expected to be. Like I was saying, the way that the zones are interconnected is not at all reflected by the layout of this overworld map. The overworld map actually has almost no relation to how zones are connected. Because as you can see here, we actually just went out the top arrow at Wyvern Falls. And we somehow ended up at this bottom right arrow in Chalkroot Hollow, even though it's located here. So it's kind of like we went out the top of this map and in the bottom of this segment of the map. And so the map essentially makes no sense. It's not reflective of reality, although maybe very reflective of the Forest of Illusions. This also explains now how we are able to activate the water wheels. This was a blast. Oh, that's interesting. That actually spits out resources. Anyway, let's save. Mang has a custom level with it. I didn't know that. But that doesn't surprise me. And yeah, Nuadi, as far as Galaxy 1 and 2 hacks go, that might be fun. The issue is that, so I'm streaming off the Switch all the time. I don't think my current computer can really handle streaming off Dolphin emulator. I can play things on Dolphin, but streaming at the same time might be a little bit too taxing on my existing machine. So that's something that may have to wait until I do a big PC upgrade down the road at some point, which might be some time away. I plan to do it. I've been saying it for some time, but it might be a while before that happens. Something like Sonic Roboblast I can probably handle. It's not that performance intensive. But anything through Dolphin, I doubt it. At some point I definitely want to do it, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to stream more off the PC, but it's not really practical for most purposes right now, so... and of course this over here is going to be getting on a lily pad and then projecting myself across.
A leaf this big will hold us up no problem. Right?
I think we're about to find out. Oh, wrong way. Oh, okay, no, you can, you don't have to blow that. It's basically like the Wind Waker Deku Leaf raft. You kind of need to maintain position here, I think, in order to blow this away. Okay. Interestingly enough, while you're on water, you get to replenish energy pretty quickly. Because you're just busy traversing and not actually in combat. We do want to get an Inferno fruit at some point, Infernal fruit, so I can upgrade the water combo attack, but we'll see about that when it happens. In the meantime, we'll just ride the raft. And then, yeah, fire enemy will spray it. Okay, and then chomp it out. And then we can spray this as well. See what happens. Just money for the most part, at least right now, and then more money. Let's recharge, and it does seem like I can do even more, but I guess that's it. Ah, we get to turn the bridge, okay. Let's explore... Yeah, let's explore this way first. Oh, interesting. And then we turn it again, yeah. Of course. Out of the way. Naturally. There we go. Oh, you actually get to get him the chomp form through the shield. Let's just rip the shield off first. And then spray down the other guy. Interesting that water has that counter effect against the wizards. The summoners. Yeah, that's just more cash. That works for me. Ah, here it is, just like I was saying. Inferno fruit. Exactly what I needed. It's just a sanctuary guide. We don't need that right now. We just need to feed him.
Whoa! Okay, pretty good.
And yeah, good thing we saved some cash for it, because we are going to upgrade the water power as soon as we can.
Come here!
Alright, let's get out. You know where to go over here? No, not really, but we'll check it. Check this as well, in case it raises anything interesting. Nope, just cash. And that's alright. In that case, let's take the bridge. Or this platform back over here. And proceed up the route. You know what? No, we'll save and upgrade first, or... No, the save point is a little further. We'll just go to the next sanctuary first before we get around that. Swimming. Well, he can swim, I can't. Oh, okay, that's convenient, that he'll just switch to water if you're in another form. And then, yeah, he would have to give me the platform by getting on the platform and then blowing it over. Oops. Trying to use
Cheshire, you can
swim button.
I'll pass. I don't want to get my hair wet.
Okay, can we go up the route over here? Don't know yet, but it does open up a lot of the map now that we see how to get across water. And it's quick too, which is nice. Okay, we got teleported over here, so I guess we don't get to activate the switch yet, but let's spray down what we can. Oh. Spray him. Probably try to lock him down. Whoops, nope. And then be able to just dispel him from here. Yeah, out of juice here, but we'll just chomp him. And make quick work of that.
Perfect!
Okay, let's tug this. Oh, that raised the bridge. Why would we want to do that? Because raising the bridge allows you to sail further, but that means that we'll cross the bridge first and explore this way, and then we'll cross the water. Because that would make the most sense. Although maybe we should look at the map to see what is here first. Looks like it is supposed to be a dead end. Ah, yeah, treasure. Alright then, after we grab this chest, then we will raise the bridge, and then we can sail further. Okay. Oops, nope, missed it. Yeah, using that multi-bind was absolutely necessary here. Just to get all the captures done in time.
Cool!
I probably should have switched him out of stone form into something faster. Because stone does walk a little bit slowly. Water goes pretty quickly. I don't know how it really compares at a glance, but it's not slow like stone. Which makes sense because stone is used for so many deflections and other things. Alright, let's make it everything blue. That's just more resources. Likewise here, probably. Oh yeah, the sweeping motion. Hang on. And of course we need to do that without accidentally pressing the stick, which is a huge problem for me. There we go. As long as we don't know how to do it in a time-sensitive fashion, like on a boss or something. Yeah, so when you see the thick red line, that means that you have to kind of sweep around the circle of the control stick, instead of just pointing in the right direction at the right time. And okay, so we can spray this down. Oh, interesting. Not what I expected. Actually, because the left side is a dead end, that means that that's something we should approach first using the lily pad before we go further, because it looks like this will be the optional path, not the main path. Just judging by the map. Oh, actually, no, you need to send Cheshire across first, because you have to hold down whoops, no, hang on. Yeah, you have to hold this down actively with Cereza. You can only get that backstroke. You can only get Cheshire to enter the water at the designated jumping point. So the idea is that you can get the lily pad over, then Cereza can ride with him on the other side. But he would have to probably drive him from there, and then that would take us over to, yeah, that's an optional location. And we'll get a moon pearl out of this encased witch. All right. Let's see if there's anything along here. I don't know that there would be. No. Judging by the map, it was just this platform, so not much else to look at yet. And we'll just get back on over here. And go back to this. Oops. Alright, so this was a step away from something significant. This character's been witnessing our progress through the other bosses so far. No, this is Morgana, never mind. The other witch that is mysterious and has not been revealed, that has been monitoring our progress. That may or may not be Morgana, who has actually remained rather mysterious.
Morgana's projection appeared before her once again. She seemed relieved.
Cereza, you look different. Did something happen, my dear?
Morgana! I defeated a giant monster! You should have seen it!
Unable to contain her
I think
childish
Morgana's
glee,
not impressed.
Cereza explained how they had taken down the Jabberwock.
That was a very precious Jabberwock, and she was not supposed to touch it.
It is
what
a
we're about to
miracle
find
you
out.
escaped unscathed. I thought I told you to find a safe place and stay put. But I must admit, I am surprised. Perhaps you have grown more than I thought.
I think Morgana has been setting her up to fail.
Morgana were as rare as igloos in Inferno.
Well, we know nothing
It
about
took
her as a
all of
character.
Cereza's willpower not
Because
to
Morgana
jump
is
for
not
joy.
in the mainline game, so far as we know, unless she is somebody else in disguise.
I
think she is an original character to this game.
Powerful magic techniques. They will allow you to draw
Of course, I haven't followed any of the other
of your familiar.
spin-offs. I understand it was an anime feature some years back, and some other side material about Bayonetta that I would not be aware of. So, new
Listen,
techniques.
Cereza,
What have we unlocked?
I have begun my preparations to get you out of that forest.
What?
But she's loving it here. She wants to finish
Avalon is immense.
the elemental orb. I
It
bet
will
we get to
require
fight her.
an equally powerful spell
I
to
bet we
break.
get to fight her.
I have begun my incantation, but it will take until dawn to complete. You must survive until then.
We'll be just fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Skill at controlling a demon determines one's worth as a witch. Remember this if you hope to take on any more monsters in that forest, and live to tell the tale.
After Morgana's spectre had vanished, Cheshire let out an angry growl.
Oh, Morgana always talks like that. Don't worry, I know you're not just some kind of weapon. But it wouldn't kill you to listen to my advice once in a while.
Cheshire snorted in response,
Ugh, you're hopeless.
and with that, Cereza's good mood disappeared as quickly as it had come.
Well, this place is swarming with fairies. And this mysterious figure has yet to be revealed. Chapter 8. Well, looking at these wolf prints here, let's see what has been torn. That sounds rather concerning. Right, stop. Custom materials, nothing too impressive. I guess if we manipulate the water level, then we'll be able to get the lily pad here somewhere useful. Until that point, though, probably can't do much more with it. So let's jump over and... Interesting that we're kind of going around this tree root here as well. That camera is adjusting to compensate. That's the advantage of having a... not exactly fixed, but a predetermined camera with only a very controlled number of angles to work with, is that you plan on shots like this, although it does kind of fool me into thinking that this will be a platform we can ride up on. That's not the case. Yeah, I guess we should get down somehow. Right, because now we should be able to take the lily pad over. Right, that's exactly it. And it looks like we'll be able to drop this even lower at a certain point once we have uncovered what we can in this area. Okay. Let's take a look at a map just to see if there's anything optional to approach. I think we'll just explore a bit. And this here in the middle looks concerning, but also promising, as something I will eventually interact with once we've lowered the water level. We probably just go into that cage and then do more with it. Can I reach this with my spells from this distance? No. Don't think I can. We are locked away from it for the time being, but let's check some other locations too, just to see if anything special is nearby. Yeah, we still don't really know what a lot of these are about. I guess the idea is that you're supposed to stomp them all at once. Oh. Let's smash them. Whoops, took a bit of a hit there. And then, sure, let's smack them. come I'm unable to pull him down, though? That's okay, we'll just slap him. Good enough. Now, is this a location that can be descended from? Nope, but as you can see, there is a climbable ladder there after we have adjusted the water level accordingly by absorbing this. Whoops. Now I wonder, do anything on this side? No, not really that I can see. A little bit out of view of the camera, so go back. Wolf prints do go up, but I guess that's why we'll eventually be taking the cage over. And I actually kind of wonder in this location if that's something that Cheshire will be able to explore in his own right. What we're going to do is I'm going to just drop him out this way. See if I can get him to swim on the right side. Oh no, the lily pad just goes like that. I guess the game doesn't want me to try to lose it. Just want to see if I can get him to jump down independently. There we go. But he can't really explore to the right. Okay, I guess we are forced to take it further. Whoops. Now, does the map change as we go? We're supposed to go up to the right side, obviously, but I do want to explore a little bit since we've lowered the water level slightly. Yeah, I guess we didn't grab that, but... yeah, this location we could have disembarked from as well, if we had noticed that earlier. I guess maybe... can't tell what the main path and what the side path will be, that's the only thing. Obviously, we do want to check both. But it looks like you'll be able to descend here later, and so maybe we don't want to do this path yet. Because, yeah, it just goes back to where we came before. But now maybe we can go up to adjust water level up here. No, not really. Okay, we'll go up the other side then. Yeah, because we do need to go up further to remove that orb. And very convenient of the lily pad to just reappear for me. And whoops. We'll come down this way. If Cheshire would like to come by, that would be great. And let's grow these. Alright, up we go. I don't think this is traversable. Nope. Once again, a little throwaway excuse here to use the stone form. Flip a few things over. And does the water form give me anything interesting? Not really. Can't really swim there. We'll cross over and continue. Right, and this is another one of those water-powered lifts that we're going to be able to raise once we go back down. Let's explore a little bit here. I don't think there's anything else we can do here, though. Yeah, this is a tree route that we're going around, so we can't actually jump down this location. We'll just have to go back. But with the water level lowered, we can proceed. I don't think we can quite jump here, can we? Yeah, well, we should be able to. Down we go. And yeah, we can go through the center, but I sort of want to explore a little bit here first, what is lowered, before we go anywhere else. Because this would give you access to this, but I don't think that really gets you anything. No secret in the waterfall, unfortunately. Not exactly going to obey Zelda logic here. Love that little backstroke. And yeah, there's nothing that has been revealed as a collectible here yet anyway, so I think we should just continue and raise this. Oops, let's get in position. Oh, interesting that there's a secondary level over there. Before we go all the way up. We can go all the way up, but I wonder if we miss something along the way. Let's go back and check that, actually. We're allowed to lower ourselves. Maybe he needs to blow in the other direction? No? Yeah. There we go. So actually, let's stall at this other level first in case that is something. I don't think so, though. We've been there previously. And I don't think I can make that jump regardless. No. They won't even let me. So we're going to raise this all the way up now. This is called the Chocolate Hollow. Previously just bypassed it very briefly. It looked almost like that was reachable too, that cage on the left side. I do want to check it. Nope, not really. Camera obstructs me. Kind of blows that idea. Alright, all the way to the top then. Whoops. Oh, okay, this is a Tyrannog. Okay, let's check it in. And yeah, I'm able to traverse this just fine, but I think I do need to dispel this in order to get the chest, so... Oh, maybe not. Where did that enemy go? I'm going to attempt to open, but does it respawn it? No. In that case, let's continue over here, and let's just try to get over to that exit as soon as we can find it. I'll actually retract gesture just for clarity until we found... Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can't capture it yet. We do need to go around and enter. We'll cleanse this area. We'll hit the save point first. Acceleration. Well, let's see what that's all about. Sweep. And tap. Yeah, a little bit tricky to do it with Joy-Con sticks. Even though this game is designed with separate Joy-Cons in mind, so you could just have an improvised co-op anytime you like. I do wonder if all the stick movement does feel better on Pro. Anyway, we do need Earth first. break some shields. And once we've broken the shields, then we'll switch to water to spray down. And then maybe it'll lock them down. Okay. And then we'll get Cheshire to do all this. And then hopefully we'll punch some energy from the chop to take down the fire guy. Whoops, getting a little bit shocked over here. Whoops. Let's lock him down. And that new super lockdown that we had on the Jabberwock boss is pretty situational. I don't know quite how to trigger it on any kind of normal fight. It might just be something that's very boss specific. Here's the heated Berserker. Yeah, we need to stay out of the way of that attack. He's got the Earth Shield and the fire so far as I can tell, so let's... And then try to spray him down after that, maybe. Okay. Yeah, we're going to need to get her out of here. Heated Berserker. I guess we probably need to spray, but we still have to learn the pattern. So, yeah. So here's the super lockdown. I don't know what it's called, but
You're getting punished.
then. Okay. I always have this tendency to press one of the other face buttons to try to cancel out of the form, but you do need to basically tap the form that you're currently in to reset out of that. Okay, so he's got his Earth Shield back. That's okay, we'll smash it. And then we'll lock him down if we can.
Prepare yourself.
And that's the chomp finisher. Alright, let's get some health. Is this piece 5 out of 5? It might be. No, 4 out of 5, okay. That's okay, we'll see many more of these. We'll have a pretty sizable health pool by the end of it all. Oops. And let's do this. Oops, nope. Once again, the stick click being a problem when I'm trying to do the drag circle. Just never got in the habit of learning how to move sticks without clicking down on them. Stick click was something I didn't even know existed as an input until the Wii U, even though it had been around on some of the other platforms' controllers for many years by that point. So we just never developed a proper muscle memory for working around it.
My, you managed to defeat the ferocious Jabberwock. It's hard to believe you were the same girl who I found sobbing all alone in a dark nightmare. You truly have grown strong.
We still have no idea who this guy is, but we have suspicions.
Really? Thanks. You know, you still haven't told me your name.
I am Luca on.
Luca, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yes, okay. I'm trying to remember what they did with his character in Bayonetta
Cereza.
3, because there's a little bit of lore connected to that too, and how Luca, not to be confused with Luca in chat, is a recurring character. It develops significantly in Bayonetta 3 in a way that I don't remember, except that he's also a boss there. Because basically, you know, these characters all take on forms over many different iterations of their multiverse.
Look on. Who are you?
And
Why
so
are you doing so much
in
to
the
help
early
me?
games, Luca is kind of this hapless journalist with a funny hat. One thing, Luca, in chat, you'll know about the various games by Platinum is that there are many different characters who are all named Luca, including one who is the star of the
I am trapped
wonderful
deep in the
101
heart of this forest by a
Kickstarter
powerful
backer
curse.
DLC, which I plan to play fairly soon after this game, I think. So we're playing a whole bunch of Luca games. I'm trapped deep in the heart of this forest by a powerful curse, yeah.
But as a witch, I believe you have the power to break that curse.
Well, he's in a much purer form than we remember, in his own way.
What's more,
A lot of the Bayonetta lore is honestly pretty incomprehensible. Particularly the storylines of the main series, they are very needlessly convoluted.
your dream. You long to save your mother, don't you? How
Although the
could you
world
kill
of the game is
someone
quite
whom
lovely.
I know all too well.
You are
But
also
the
trying to find your
details of
mother,
the plot are not
aren't you?
really the point here. In some ways, this game that we're playing here, Cereza and the Lost Demon, is the most comprehensible Bayonetta game.
Yes. Even after countless moons, my mother still waits for me outside the forest. I want to go to her, to dry her tears. Cereza, please.
This is probably
break
Morgana's
my
kid,
curse.
then.
If you destroy
knows?
the final element
I don't
of
actually
war
know.
and come to the heart of the forest, my dream, our dream, will become a reality.
Yeah, I assumed that I would fight him, actually, at some point, and it may very well be the case.
We can leave this forest
But it was pretty
together.
clear to me that you would
I will
have
help
4
you
major
save your
bosses,
mother, and we
the
can
elemental
all
cores, and
live
then
as
a
families
5th
once again.
final encounter after that. And this is, of course, very suspicious.
Look on. I understand. I'll do my best. I want to know more about you. There is so much we have in common.
I feel the same way. I have never met another who understood my pain, shared my dream.
Another meeting with Lucaon. Remembering the dream sent Cereza's young heart aflutter.
So this is not who I guess this character might be, but now I can see why it
Cheshire
might
noticed
potentially make
Cereza's
sense.
flushed cheeks and stared
Again,
at
not
her
that I remember
inquisitively.
very much about how this character is used in Bayonetta 3, apart from some significant encounters.
Oh, it's nothing. Anyways, there is something I should explain when I have the chance.
Cereza told Cheshire the reason she had entered Avalon Forest. Lucaon appearing in her dream, her quest to save her mother, and the power she was promised that waited at the heart of the forest.
Which, of course, is very suspicious, but gives her a reason to stay here while Morgana is busily trying to pull her out.
Cheshire was speechless. Entering the forest based on a half-remembered promise from a boy in a dream?
I know what
Cheshire
it
is a bit
sounds
skeptical.
like, but it's
I love
all
this
coming
expression
true.
here.
The elemental cores were just as Lucaon said, right?
This is what
These
happens
are
when
more
a
than mere dreams.
Cheshire Cat isn't merely grinning, but just kind of giving you a look of disbelief.
If he did not return to Inferno soon, Cheshire would surely die. The thought that he was chasing the whims of a love-struck child sent his blood boiling with rage.
It's sort of interesting that this acknowledges us as Bit of a moment of young love here. That's something that with the
back to Inferno, the last thing I do in this
Bayonetta-Luca relationship throughout the main series is something of a point of controversy, I think, especially with the way it develops in 3.
Look, I could teach you a thing or two about how to talk to a lady.
I should actually replay the series
Nothing. Come on.
at
let's
some
go
point.
find
I
that
meant to
core.
replay 3 anyway because I did beat it off stream on hard mode last year when it launched. And those games are always structured in such a way that there's a very strong incentive to go back for medals and unlockable encounters and so on. But it might take some practice to really get back into it. Yeah, I just meant to go back to it for more replays and just never found the time. Even though it is a very interesting game. And apparently the parts that I found most frustrating about it were actually patched after the fact.
Cereza and Cheshire came across a pool.
Look at the treasure chest down there.
Had stretched as far as the eye could see.
Cutscene will just
Just how
give its
long would
location
it
to you.
take for this many to grow? They stood in awe of the forest's diligent workings.
And of course, if you look in the Remembrance logbook, you can see something else about their conversation. Yeah, it does reveal the treasure chest down there, so... And actually, it's quite visible from this location anyway. We might as well try to head down and see if we can grab it with a lily pad. I mean, it's right here. But we would need to find the lily pad first. Is Cheshire able to... No, oh, okay, no, this is shallow water. We can just do it. So, no problem. We'll just grab this.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the character Luca in Wonderful 101 was actually just a reference to Luca from Bayonetta, but I don't recall if there was one in Astral Chain as well, or some other games that I played. Let's... Yeah, so this is a lift that's obviously supposed to take you much further up. We won't do it just yet. I want to explore a bit, and okay, I guess we'll have a multi-elemental fight here. We'll just put this guy in there. Water spray for the next one. Then... That's quick. Nice. What does that get me? Just access to this. Let's take a look at the map to see what is potentially optional and what is main route. I'll have to check this both ways. We'll go to sweeping motion again. We'll pick up more of those. This is substantial enough as a sequence, though, that I do wonder if we should have tried the other path first. I suspect might be the case. Let's spray this down, though. Great. Lots of cash. Oh, and then here's another platform. I think this was actually a way out, wasn't it? I don't even remember this. Grab everything we can. We should actually check the other lift first before we try to lower ourselves. Or should we? Let's take a look at the map. Because we go down in this location. Can't see where I'm overlaid. And it might get you down to a scroll down there. We can try it first and see where it goes. Because it looks like, yeah, Sanctuary is going to go up. This takes you back down. Again, let's see. Upper region. Upper region, however, would be where the Tirnanog is located to continue uncovering more of the map. So I think maybe we should have gone for that one first before coming here. But we'll go around and explore a little bit first. Hard to say much about what is the main path or the side path when everything is extensive and interesting and interconnected in increasingly convoluted ways. But yeah, we'll see if we can take this platform first, and then we'll see where it gets us. We'll check both locations. This goes quite a ways now. Oh, and there's a mushroom platform here that's going to send you somewhere quite far. So I think... Well, there is a sanctuary, though. Where are we? Sanctuary would turn it on. I think we should check the other one. Or unless we know how to get back here. Actually, there are mushroom platforms there. We can get back. Let's hit the sanctuary so we can get some upgrades. But we'll have to remember to come back afterwards to go down to the next location. And we'll cross there in just a moment, but to check every treasure. Lily pads are in general quite useful, yes. How do we get back to some of these places, though? The concern that I have is that it might take us a while to get back here if we don't see a good way to reverse through this path. So it might be advisable to not do this yet until we check the other route. There will be a way back, it's just that we can't see what it will be without some manipulation of the water level, probably. So, rather than heading there just yet, I think we should go back. That's okay, that's just something we had to determine. After getting a lay of the land, that was a miss. Over here. Yeah, let's take the other lift first. That's probably a better idea. Oh, do we get to, though? Or am I stuck here? I may actually be stuck here because the lift has gone down and has not returned. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We'll just have to remember to go back. Try the other one. Yeah, notice how things kind of fade in and out of the background depending on your vantage point. But sometimes when you have a really particularly good vantage point, you can see a lot about how the spaces are interconnected. Cutscene.
Well, who do we have here?
And yeah, we can always teleport back, I
I'm
suppose.
surprised you've made it this far.
But I really did want to see where the cage was going to descend.
You even took care of the monstrous Jabberwock, violent even by fairy standards. I never expected a witch to come along and beat him. And you've destroyed another elemental core. But you don't seem happy. You're not hurt, are you?
No, we're fine. Hey, how about telling us where we can find the last elemental core?
Well, we have wolf prints for that.
Don't you?
Yes, I've often said hurrying will get you nowhere.
Notice that on the map
You
that everything has
sound
been
like my teacher.
circling around this central segment of the forest
Come on, don't hold out on
that
us.
I think we have not found yet.
Dear, dear. The final elemental core is in a particularly tricky part of this forest. Inside a fortress where only the most malicious of the fairies reside. No one who has entered that fortress has ever made it out. Still sure you want to go?
Oh, we'll go all right. I'm a witch, and I'm way stronger now than when I set foot in this forest.
We can hope. But with your teamwork, maybe you don't have much to worry about. I'm tired of those cruel fairies myself. I'm hoping you can show them what's what.
And that we can do. White Wolf's footprint on the map. Yeah, we don't feel lost. But he basically, as we know from experience, gives you the
Hello?
recommended starting point for the wolf tracks if you're busy exploring somewhere else. Shall I lead you near the White Wolf? No, please don't. I am perfectly fine. I prefer to stay, in fact. Looks like we'd never found a sanctuary in this area or this area. But I do want to see if we can do more with Wyvern Falls now that we're able to traverse water. We're not going to go there yet, though. I cannot select your current location, but can we just stay? I think we should be able to if we just close this. And yeah, this is Sunspeckled Grove up here. Select your current location. Yeah, let's just drop into that. And learn the water combo if we can. Got a couple of new things opening up as well. Water Mastery. We'll almost certainly pick that up, but let's check the other ones. We have enough cash that we could get some of the other upgrades as well at this point too. Let's fill them in. And have plenty of resources left over on the budget. Until we find more infernal fruit. Yeah, we'll probably plug in both of these too, that we can afford it. Rocket return, we'll just have to wait. Money charge is available. And I like it. We'll cut a lot of downtime. This is still locked, we don't know what that is. And yeah, this will be the only one we can afford for now, but we'll do it.
Yes!
Yeah, let's grab both of these. In fact, not that we've been doing the counter very much. But...
Cheshire, here you go.
I think we'll have to try that one out in practice just to see what the timing is.
Thanks, Cheshire.
Or maybe it works like a homing attack after the deflection. But we'll try it.
Have some. Good job.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll collect enough resources for more upgrades by the time more unlock on a tree. But I do want to try a deflection quickly. And we can do long range enemy, standard form. And then, yeah, it just follows up right away. Okay. So we can basically just spam the attack button after the dodge and it should line up. Okay, let's keep exploring. And see if we can get out of here. Right, we have been here previously. This is part of Chalkroot Hollow that you are able to traverse. And yeah, because that was a save point that we actually missed the first time out because we didn't cross the tightrope vines over to that central pillar. Now that we're here, and now that we know how to make Cheshire swim, can he? Or am I unable to? Yeah, maybe. Look how he kind of leaves tracks too on his way out of the water. That's a nice little touch. I was hoping that he could escort me somewhere, given that we weren't able to leave this path previously. Yeah, so no, he's able to backstroke here. I just can't take myself out yet. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't move with me to show where you can go. Ah, but we can absorb the water here, and that will give me a little more freedom to move. So that was one thing that we were unable to do previously. But we don't have the power of fire yet, so we can't melt ice. So ice skates are one thing that we can't deal with at this point in the game. We've seen enough ice skates around that we know that fire is likely to be power that is relevant to us later. And yeah, we've been here before, I'm pretty sure. This was something I had checked, but not with the current water level, so maybe we should check it again. That will allow me to go down. Interesting. Well, this is a bit of a one-way gate in its own right. But it's going to take me back down to this part of the hollow, and maybe that's what we needed to do to get back to the location I wanted to check earlier. Right, because this was before that earlier save point. We kind of need to reorient ourselves quite a bit just by recognizing these locations, since the map itself is not going to be too helpful. We saw that remembrance earlier. Came here, and yes, this is where we raised the platform, so this is now where we're going to continue to the other spot I wanted to check. Do we want to fight these guys? Yeah, I guess we can get resources off it. And then we'll spray this guy down. And then spray him down too. I just killed him all in range. Yeah, this is the boundary. But then we can lower ourselves with the other platform here and see what this is all about. So this gets you all the way down. Was this one of our previous locations? I don't think so, because we have not grown this yet. We haven't been here. Okay, and we can drag that, but where are we going to drag it? We're going to find out. Let's lower this first. Snap that into place, but we'll have to figure out where to drag this one. Let's kill this first. Okay. Kill the shield. do a charge combo.
You're getting punished!
Oops. Oh, that's okay. Water should be fine. And yes, indeed, that was just a combo attack. Where did he go then? Okay, worked out well enough. You know, because Cheshire can swim, he can drag this basically anywhere he likes. Let's just see how high this goes. No, actually that's not true, because he can only drag it using this form. So he... yeah. Well, we can take it anyway. I don't know that it will get us anywhere useful, though. Because he will cease to do that if he's in the water. But you can drag back across the other side. I see the journal page on the other side. That's important, but we don't really need this interaction to do it, though, because we can just go with the lily pad this way. So the question is, what do we actually need that interaction for? We don't know yet. It might be for the pillar in the center. But the pillar in the center is actually just a lift that we lowered, so never mind. Maybe it gets you up to a higher location, though. I guess we should check the map here to see. Oh, and look at that. This is Arthurian legend. The Divine Blade. Not the Vorpal's sword for slaying the Jabberwock, but something a bit more pedestrian, like Excalibur. Yeah, well, I mean, the name Avalon kind of gave this away in the first place. That was meant to be Arthurian legend, according to Bayonetta. And oh, also, we finally got Umbran and Apprentice Diary 3. We were missing that for the longest time. But anyway, let's see where we can go. You know, with the lily pad, it would be possible to drag the platform elsewhere. So we should take this as a bit of a puzzle. Or you can use these two in conjunction. The problem with that being that if you switch to the water form, then you're no longer gripping the flying platform. Yeah, I guess we'll move you over to the far side over there, which would be helpful if you can get there first. Yeah, because I can see the treasure that's on the other side. But basically you would need to have water in a position that would allow you to then drag using this form. And I'm way out of range for that, so. But this platform here looks like it's where you're supposed to go. A little bit out of the way. But you don't need to be all the way there, as long as you... whoops. A little too long. Yeah, drifted a little bit. But basically you can pull a little at a time. Then we jump. No. Lack of depth perception here being a bit of a problem. But that is the method that you can switch between the two forms handily. You just need to do it like this. Spray a little bit. And drag. And maybe just reposition slightly. Which then allows her to jump over. Great. That gives you a treasure chest as well as whatever else is accessible. Let's platform. Look at that. We're using all three forms in conjunction too. I don't know if this will be any good. It's okay. 100 each. I can see why it's a bigger chest than usual.
Come here!
Bit more of an elaborate puzzle interaction than some of the ones we've seen. Notice these shattered platforms. Kind of like the good old clock tower. I wonder if there's something we can do to restore these. This looks like a passage that we're supposed to restore in some fashion. Pieces of stone. Yeah, I guess we can't actually interact with this yet, but it looks like we're probably supposed to connect it at some point. That's awfully suspicious. Looks very much like the fragmented clock tower. That's such a central motif of the series, though. And yeah, there is something to restore at the top level, so... Anyway, let's go down. And let's head on up. Okay, this will be new territory over here. We don't know what's down here yet. Nothing really to flip. This looks awfully suspicious. This looks like something we shouldn't jump down until we know where we're going, but obviously raising that afterwards will be potentially important. Yeah, in general, I want to avoid one-way interactions. Ah, this is just back to the central pillar. That was something familiar. Yeah, we've been here. This was everything from earlier on. Except now we've lowered the water almost all the way down. I don't know if that's going to get us anything new, or... I think this was as low as it was going to go, and we've explored quite a bit of this at this point. Apart from not having opened up the top right, and I don't quite know how we're going to traverse to that. Although obviously we should try to do it. Yeah, because you get a lift over here, but we knew that, and do we have a way to get up onto that next platform? Not that I can see yet. Yeah, this takes you all the way back up. That's been here previously. Which I guess we should do, given that we don't see any more unlockables down here. I mean, there is that zone down there that we need to get to at some point, but probably need to descend down a different segment to get there. We were here earlier before we dispelled everything. Let's see if we can progress over to location that remains locked. Okay, back here, that's familiar. Mid region, and we want to go back up top, which we can do because we know where the save point is. The question is how to get down to the lower region. But we're not really close to that location yet anyway. It's kind of below the central save point if we find a way to descend. So anyway, let's head back up and try to progress there instead. Unlocking some new locations. I do see a way to ascend to the left side. Is this a location of note? We've read that previously. Alright, let's go this way this time. And there are, of course, several locations that were gated off by fire at one point or another. We'll go back and check those. And, of course, the central lake area as well. That's something that we now have much more access to now that we have powered water on our side. Spray this guy down. All done. Erbisha, Visser, your old workplace gave you some money for leftover vacation hours. Thank you so much for a sub. My sound alerts are for some reason not working. I was getting raid alerts for some reason my sub alerts and my follower alerts were not going, so I'm glad I actually saw that you subbed, but thank you very much for your support. You heard a kaboom, that's good. Okay, yeah, for some reason it's not being patched in on my end. So I'm glad that it is working on your side. Anyway. You'd find this game really interesting, by the way. I am playing it single player, but because you control one character with each Joy-Con, you can hand off one controller at any given point, and you basically have built-in couch co-op. The kaboom worked. Okay, that's good news. Because it's not working on my side. But at least game sounds are on. I did have one little bit earlier in the stream that was accidentally muted, but otherwise sound has been much better than it used to be. We're not really going to use the bomb for anything else here. We do want to head to the right side, though. Let's see if we can unlock that location. Yeah, it might require me to drop that vine from above and grow it. I don't know if we have a way to get there yet. This would be pretty interesting as a couch co-op experience, actually. Because it would be very communication-oriented if you tried to play it that way, since you... I mean, you'd have a lot more flexibility over each character's movement because you're not trying to coordinate them both at once, but at the same time, you definitely need to have some better coordinated actions than what I've been showing off. Alright, let's try to do the earth combo here, and then we need to sweep for traps. That was totally facing the wrong way. Sweep, sweep. Let's just stop. Okay, that's it. Now let's see what we can do here.
Come here!
Yeah, Sunspeckled Grove. We've been to this particular connection point many times. And we need to go back to the south and then to the east if we can. See if we can figure it out. Elevation is not necessarily very clear in this game, unfortunately. But basically, we should have had an eastern passage available here. Yeah, here it is. I don't know that we've been here yet. Yeah, we had a treasure chest, so I guess we have been here. But then we must have been gated off something previously that we might be able to access now, as long as it's not ice. Or something else elevation based that we can't actually bypass. So yeah, that sends you back to the sanctuary. I guess we can't actually proceed here. Where am I? Overshot slightly, okay. Yeah, maybe we're not able to go there yet unless we go up the path. Yeah, it might not actually be accessible yet, depending on how these spaces are layered. So we're here on the map. It should be a passage that's to the right, but it might be above where I'm standing right now, and therefore not very reachable. I think what we'll do instead is, much as I usually don't use fast travel in very many video games, I have used it quite a bit in this one, simply because some of the navigation when you're sweeping the map is impractical without it. We're going to go back here first to Forgotten Knoll. I don't remember if it was a water gate or an ice gate on the right, but we'll check it to see if we can unlock the remaining location, because then, apart from a save point, that basically finishes that zone. And then I'm going to see if we can check the central lake once again, which I think is... Yeah, because we haven't unlocked this final location here, and that's because we needed water traversal to do it. We'll eventually come back here, but... Yeah, I don't get the color coding of some of the locations we have not yet unlocked, though. I never really figured that out. Maybe there's a distinction between the combat dungeons and the puzzle ones, but I can't tell. That was the last thing you found in a game, yeah? Oh, which one do you mean? Oh, you mean one of the locations that I was looking at? And yeah, welcome back, Barhunga. Alright, we're not lost, but I do want to fast travel out of here. Yeah, the one above me, this location here. Yeah, because I can kind of see from the background art that, you know, we're missing a ladder that needed to be dropped down. And that would probably need to connect to one of the adjoining zones to do that, but given the way this map just doesn't mark any of the connecting arrows, we might take some time to find that ourselves, so. We're not going to the White Wolf, we're going over here.
Don't do it now.
It didn't end up being that difficult, but it took you ages. I find that when sweeping through game maps that are structured like this, that's very often the case. And it's not really a matter of difficulty, it's just a matter of standing in the right spot eventually after being diverted by the map for much too long. Oh, look at that, new cutscene here because of everybody we've rescued, presumably. We haven't been back here in some time, and we've revealed a lot of wisps since, so I guess they're having a bustling existence now, lots of them playing together. Alright, let's talk to Colm over here. And yeah, eventually we have that one unlockable up top. Right now, let's try to open up the zone. Oh, that's not an unlockable up top, that's just a save point. Okay, so we're fine. We need to check the right side. I believe this was actually a fire gate that we needed to spray down. I know it was something that I didn't previously have the power to unlock, so we'll just need to check for it. If I can figure out where I should stand. Let's come back here first, or is that in the wrong zone? Yeah, no, this is fine, probably. We'll come up to this side. I do know how to do that. I'm trying to remember how it was with bounce step previously. Had to wrap around the whole map, I think. Well, let's go up and look around. And get diverted even further off. Yeah, that's not it. Hang on. So that just takes you down a slide. Yeah, there was some passage here that I just missed for some reason. So many cages. Oh yes, not here. Or here. Yeah, so it was down in the next location and we found our way up to the mushroom, which, like I said, I had done it before. We just tend to get a bit disoriented here, I suppose, because we can go up and around. Yes, that's right. Or do we? Yes, we do. We'll just try to find whatever gating mechanism had stopped me previously.
Cool.
Because it was something that would come here, and it's going to be a lot further along. Again, I have a lot of trouble understanding the map scale sometimes, but continue this way. Try to remember what it was that stopped us. And it is fire, as I correctly remembered. So let's get over here. Check for some chests. Oops.
Cool.
Yeah, the cash comes in quickly. I do see a plant on the other side that seems like it's supposed to make a shortcut bridge eventually when we get to it. We'll cover some new territory here first. Try to see where the tier 9 unlock is going to be. Alright, we'll need to find a way to head over to that train. We'll explore a bit before that happens. Whoops. And yeah, here we are. I did see that wisp, but that was still trapped back there. That was something we'll deal with in due course once we open up more locations here. We'll check that in a moment, or should we? Let's take a look here. Yeah, what was that wisp that we passed? We should take a look at how the shortcut connects. There should be more to this than that. It seems strangely empty. Oh, but the passage continues this way. Okay, that makes sense. We'll have a swinging platform over there in this part of the leafy nook. I see, so that's how that connects. We have unveiled the whole map here, though, so apart from the journal page, which we needed the power of water to obtain, which we now have, this connection is one that we can probably worry about later. Because unlocking the ladder was the critical piece here. I think we had explored all of this. Not gonna jump down there just yet. Yeah, because you do have this interstitial region here that will send you somewhere else to the right side. This zone, Leafy Nook, incidentally, was the recommended teleport point for the main quest, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to go back up the ladder. Well, once we've had a chance to see this, actually. This is new. Oh, that's going to project you all the way back, though, and that's okay, because we have the power of water now. We can actually traverse some of that. Do I want to do that now, though, or do we want to go up top first? Oh yeah, this is all regions. So top region, yeah, we actually did want to check the top first because of the infernal fruit there, I think. And we'll come back down because it looks like that's all there is up top. So it makes sense to do that first and then come down before we pass anything we can't return through. So let's head up first. I always find myself changing my mind about to go next. And oh yes, this guy was right here. Okay. Really far out. We've got plenty of materials, so let's get him some baked gecko. That's obviously the thing that elevates you to another plane of existence if you know how to use it. Okay, so that's actually all there was. I should have just walked up here a few steps and that would have given me this location. There is something on the other side here that we can't seem to reach yet. Because we're not allowed to jump down there yet. So we'll eventually find our way up to that platform. I don't think I can reach it right now. So we'll be down and back up at some point, presumably. Ah, I see. We use this to launch ourselves onto the swinging platform, and that's how we proceed. But nope. Whoops. That's okay, at least it resets me here. It doesn't just kick me down all the way. Yeah, maybe let's aim. Doesn't diminish any health either, which is good. There we go. Anything back here that we can see on camera? Not really. Oddly enough, we haven't been to this chest. Since when? Oh yeah, because we have jumped around some of this before. Well then, let's figure out what we haven't done. Now, because obviously where you can see everything in the background there, that's something that's water gated in a way that we haven't interacted with previously. So if we can get back to that position, we'll be good. Sure, let's just, whoops, let's spray him down. Climb. Yeah, so we had been here. And then at some point we couldn't proceed, I believe. Yeah, because we had checked the chest over there as well. It's always nice with these kind of lock and key level structures when the way future powers make you progress aren't too obvious. And I found the really brilliant thing about this game was actually the mushrooms. You know, when you see something like an ice trap, you know, okay, eventually you'll get fire and you'll get rid of that. We saw lots of clues early on that we would need some kind of water power. And you would think with a stone, okay, we just need to break rocks, but the mushroom stomp was a real surprise.
An ancient tree long
Oh, we've seen this one.
felled bared its
Saw this one a
fangs
while
at
ago.
Cereza. Cereza could not shake the feeling that Avalon Forest had...
But yeah, we can go back to the sanctuary to approach the water. That will be something new. So we just need to walk this. Having done this circuit before, no surprises here. And yes, there were a few things here previously that we didn't successfully traverse, but I only came here in the first place because I was going for a particular lockable Tyrannosaurus location, and then, as usual, we wound up being completely diverted. We've got some plant stomping going on here. Yeah, we've done everything up here to the sanctuary, but it's progressing past the sanctuary that should be something new.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
got the Windy Knot save point. Again, we saw the other save point down below, which is what we want to approach. Oh yes, we should check for upgrades too.
Hello?
Anything new to afford? Maybe. We don't know what this is yet, though. But we'll do one of the Thorn upgrades, almost certainly. I think at this point, the recharge is actually going to be best. Because with some of the boss patterns, the
Cool.
Witch Pulse lockdown has become ever more important. And yeah, we don't have the Infernal Root to carry that one yet. So what are we looking at? Well, we had cleared this segment out previously, so let's just figure out where to walk. And then we have this mushroom, which takes me up here, and then yeah, because previously we saw the Jabberwock all the way through here. Kind of don't want to bother with those guys just now. And then was this location that would just allow me to proceed? No, we had seen this already. Ah, yes, but okay. Now, one of the reasons I came up here was because we saw that the Inferno Fruit was marked on the right side. I don't know if that's reachable for us yet, but we are going to try for it. No, it isn't because this is ice skated. Okay, so this was not actually a good use of our diversion here. That's okay. We'll try this. Oh, and we did a big lockdown. And then ramming into the ice was probably not a good idea here. Let's just try to chop him. So why were we here before? Oh yes, okay. Because that was the whole Jabberwock story path. That's right. Okay, well the only thing we were missing in this zone was this, then we shouldn't have come to the Windy Knot. I just forgotten that it was an ice gate. Rather than just a location we hadn't checked. So let's go back down. This was a big diversion and it didn't really progress anything. That's okay. Now we know. And then we might just teleport out of the warp point then. That is just at the nearby sanctuary. Because, yeah, that's where the Jabberwock dunks you. First time. Let's try to determine where to go at this point then. Probably to the lake, but completely lost track of the thing I actually wanted to unlock, which was, you know, how did we end up all the way there, right? After initially trying for this location instead. Because we walked past the fire gate, we wound up in a Windy Knot. Let's teleport back to that one just to check it one more time. Because we clearly haven't learned a thing. Because we were making some progress on the map.
Whoa!
No.
We should probably just go for the firepower first so we don't have to worry about whether we are just going to run into an ice gate out of nowhere.
Hello.
It is one of those games where I'm trying to play breadth first and unlock as much of the map as I can as I go. It does seem to encounter a bit of resistance, as it strongly encourages you to think a little more linearly about unlocking the powers before you go anywhere. It does go against my instincts as a player a bit. But yeah, we were previously here, and then that whole passage eventually led to the upper level. So let's just try to recover our position here. We should be able to go for whatever it was we missed. Past the fire gate over here. Yeah, because this would be where we branched out. Notice these platforms here. I wonder if they're jumpable from my current location. I don't think so. But yeah, we needed to get that bridge down. And we can't reach it just yet. But this was what we checked previously. Oh, also, no, this is as far as it goes. So we got diverted to the Windy Knot at some point. It must have been at this branch here, because if we go right... Oh, right, the train is... It stops us, but we should be able to loop around and then approach the train. Except we... Ah, yes, okay, so this is what takes you to the Windy Knot. And that's why we got diverted, is because we came in the right side there. So, in that case, we don't know how the map connects in such a way that we can get over there, because the map connects in such incredibly convoluted ways. We're coming out this bit, facing to the top right, then leads you into... Where is the Windy Knot? It's all the way up here. Yeah, the map regions are kind of a maze in themselves. It's very disorienting to see that you would basically come into the arrows on the right side, on the east side of this map. And so unless you know how to get up to the train, which would require you to drop in from some other location, we're not going to be in this part of the map anytime soon. Because things just don't seem to connect very sensibly by the looks of it. So let's say you're standing back here. Where are you at this point? But yeah, it's clearly something to do with that location, and we would need to cross these green platforms. That looks like it's the way to go, in fact. And that would mean we would need to cross from below, and then open that bridge. Because I see that we'll need to approach the green platforms from down this way, maybe? Nope, not there either. Real test of your spatial sense. Okay, we would need to approach that from a completely different direction north of the sanctuary. And then open up that bridge. And that should eventually maybe wrap around in such a way that we make our way up to the train. But it looks like it's nowhere near this location. Yeah, maybe we go around this way. Can we drop? Yeah, we can. Have we seen this?
The secret base of the Wisps tucked away in the forest. Thanks to Cereza and Cheshire, playful shouts of joy had begun to return.
Notice too that the remembrances are not marked on the map. Well, Cheshire has an appetite for destruction. But all this is the remembrance. So we'll have to see how to get up on the right side of the map. We passed the sanctuary. Probably past this point as well. We know this was a dead end. Oh, this area here, that's not enterable. But yeah, let's go up all the way to see. No, we can't actually progress from here either. Well then, how do we get up to the next level of this map then? Had we done it before? I'm not sure. Yeah, I just don't know how to connect at all, actually. Because it looks contiguous. There's no connectivity from the lower region. I don't know, it's something we haven't been able to traverse. Maybe there's a big drop point later on, but we kind of roughly see where we're supposed to go in order to cross over to green platforms. And sometimes I might just be missing something as simple as jumping across a gap that is perfectly jumpable. Well, we'll explore a bit and we'll try to get back to the directed quest after that. But I'm curious about this. Because if we can board the floating green platforms, going around this way, then we're in business. But I don't see how to do it yet, because this seems to be way off. Perhaps we're here for the remembrance just now, but it didn't seem like we could cross any further. I was hoping we could, because then that would explain how you would get across on the top side. Maybe some of these gates are eventually burnable or something, but I don't think so. I think the ice gates are what mark the fire interaction that we'll probably get when we complete the remaining orb. Alright, I guess we'll bail on this for the moment. Because I definitely don't see where the passage could be. It could be something burnable. In that case, let's teleport. And let's go to the lake this time. You know, we still haven't unlocked whatever's in this zone too. Let me just take a look. And again, because the zones don't actually connect by adjacency, it's hard to tell what's going on here. Except that we never unlocked a sanctuary, and it seems to be a very natural place for it. We just didn't land on it for whatever reason. But maybe the watchtower would interact with the train track that would then get me to the location in this zone that we haven't been able to visit, because we do know that trains interact with that. Just see here, because we start in Fairyland Tower and proceed. Yeah, we might actually come here too, just to see. Well, no, we should probably try to unlock the power of fire for countering ice as soon as we can, and then we don't need to worry about hitting dead ends. But we'll check the lake first. Actually, we can't, because we don't have the sanctuary here. Which is probably why the recommendation is to go here, because that actually would be what connects to the water. Alright, let's follow the main path.
Hello?
Reluctantly. Ah, you know what? We don't need to do it this way. And instead... Didn't we find a connection point earlier that was from... Let's see. Would he not? I was noting something that would connect down to here in the bottom right of the map, but there's nothing to reveal here, so no, we'll just go straight back. Let's see it. Okay, so now we can manipulate the water level, and then that will give me access to the journal page. Or, yeah, because this is traversable. Also shows me where the wolf tracks are going to go, but now that we've manipulated the level, once again we can actually proceed to somewhere new. Once we cross over the gate, we can do that. Let's go for the mushroom. And probably fight these guys. Very nice combo interaction on that guy. And more water over here that we can finally manipulate, probably. Yeah, because perhaps this will do something for me. No. Is this water shallow enough for Cereza to walk though? Yes. Because we had lowered the level, so do likewise with the other side. We should graciously climb over for me. And then we basically just walk over. To uncover the wisp over here. Now what would you like? Onyx roses, we got plenty. That's why we keep the bank nice and high. Okay. And can we tunnel in here? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, we've essentially finished the Leafy Nook then. Because we do have everything in this zone. And you know what? Since we did finish it in this corner. Let's see here. Yeah, it seems like there's actually quite a lot of territory left for us to unlock. We'll have to just go around the water gates the other way, but we've got everything here, so let's just screenshot the map. Just to get a timestamp on when I did this and in what order. And then let's go back to the other side to see how we can get around that gate. This just goes up though. Is that where we want to head? Yes, I think so. Because we've manipulated the water level at this point. That should affect the rest of the lake as well. Just in theory. Yeah, because we're now on the other side of that and we've rejoined the wolf tracks. Seems like we haven't really collected anything in this zone. But that makes sense given that we're not really able to burst water. Okay, let's nuke this guy. Wherever he may be. Yeah, the dodge into homing attack is quite nice. Very much a classic staple of action games like Bayonetta in the first place. And yeah, we've broken this before, I'm sure. Actually... Ah, Moon Pearl over there. You know what? Let's go for it. Mushroom over here, Sun Speckled Grove over here. Yeah, no, we need to get around this combat encounter first, and then... It was a very early location of the game. But we have many more cars now. Stone will be better than one here, by the looks of it. and we'll just knock out what we can till we get up here. So, where's that going to launch me? We'll find out. Because I don't remember if we've done it already. I don't think I had. Last time we were here, we may not have had the stone power. No, wait a minute. We are now in the Sun-Speckled Grove. However, if we keep going up, it looks like it may potentially get me over to more wisps. So, perhaps we should proceed with this.
Cool.
No, we have broken this already. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's head back down. If we know how. Oops, yeah, down we go. That sends you up. Go back down. I suppose the wolf tracks were here as well, though. So perhaps we should just proceed, even though that was not really at all where I had intended to go. Oh, total trap here. We will, of course, check the left side. And some of this looks new, given that we haven't absorbed this previously. Actually, I think I came here a long time ago and we just never opened this gate.
Cheshire, over here!
And yeah, that looks like it would project you up. But the important thing is we have reached a water location that we know we previously couldn't traverse because, of course, water. And I actually don't know about the depth here. No, we need to get a lower path. Obviously. And where to, whoops. Go around here, so we'll look what we can. Yeah, nothing except a starting point. And then I mean, I should be able to find a... Oh, find a location just to the right. Okay, that's easy. Let me pay this guy. How much? Melodic Mist, yep. Lots of those. Well, we had 5 of those, I guess. We could have had more, but... at least we haven't really crafted any of those. Given that we already always have so many items on hand. But anyway, this is going to be new material here, finally.
Yes!
And we'll roll a passageway over here. Bust all of this down. And, oh yeah, we have released this guy already. Have we? Okay, I guess we have been here then. In some fashion. But there's a gate over there. Have we been there? I think we must have. Ah, yes, because that kind of gets you into a Tyrannog region, if I'm not mistaken. We will, of course, check that first. Right, okay, no, we had been here. This was the entrance to Giant's Basin. However, previously I think we had also not been able to traverse very far because of the water. Hence why we just passed through the zone without unlocking the sanctuary. Now, of course, we have a lot more flexibility, so perhaps should do that first. Let me just take a look at previous map, not that we know our location. Yeah, if we're able to head down to the water, we should. Instead of just progressing here. Indeed, we'll have a lily pad. The sanctuary somewhere, but I'm sure we'll find it. Oops. Okay, we'll just get on pad and start sailing. Let's check the boundary. At least the map here does reveal itself in segments. I played Xenoblade 3 off-stream last year. There's a pretty sizable nautical segment where most of the water is blank and empty. I mean, you kind of go from island to island, like playing Wind Waker inside a Xenoblade game. But of course I had a compulsion to defog the entire map, so we spent quite some time just going over the entire map just to reveal every possible corner when you don't really need that much information to play and see where everything is. But we like completeness when it comes to that sort of thing, so play accordingly. I had said something when we were previously here at the zone about how here in the Giant's Basin, all these hexagons actually do resemble the basalt deposits of the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. And of course Fingal's Cave, which is just opposite there, and is part of the same basalt deposit over on the Scottish coast. Given the Celtic theme of this game, I'm pretty sure that's something that's being deliberately evoked here with these hexagonal tilings. But we've got a new area. And yeah, given that things look like they're starting to get fiery, maybe this is in fact where the main progression is supposed to be heading. But I'm just following my curiosity when it comes to route finding here. And down we go. Okay, can't really pull out Stone Cheshire while we're on a tight rope, so we will just have to walk it. Whoops. Just nudge my way across a little too far. So we'll be cautious. Got some rosemary up ahead for some separated duo play. We'll toss first. I wonder if we can just lure this guy and crush him. We can actually use water to spray him down. Just not deal with him. And then reunite the two. And jump down as we go. This will be the next location here. Just be careful with the descent. Oh, no. Make this out patiently. Just tug him. After a while, you can get pretty fluent in which enemies do what. Let's go water first. Obviously, the mushroom is available for the stone interaction as well, but I do want to give this a quick swim to see if anything will reveal itself. Looks like the camera's not moving cooperatively here, though, so we should actually project ourselves over to the middle first and see what happens. Oh, come on. I don't know why we're having some trouble here, but this will launch. And then at this point, once we grow this, we actually understand how to get around. Yeah, here's another one to tug, so that means that we will be swimming into various locations and then pulling over. Probably just right from here. Okay. Let's hope it's going to reach. There we go. Whoops. Drag it. Then... Whoops. Nope, nope. Didn't mean to do that. We're positioning here. That's okay. We'll run around a bit here first to see what to do before we head upstairs in that location. Yeah, we do need to grow that. Alright, felt like I should have been able to. Drag Cereza over to those platforms though, and that... Oh, let's go down first before we can rejoin. And we can grow this from afar. I don't always have a consistent idea what the range is going to be on those, but I guess they're all situationally specific. And yeah, that just creates a circuit that will first of all allow you to grab the journal page. Wisp Weekly once again. Vitality petals being our heart pieces and containers. You feel tougher after they do for some reason, yeah. They love snacking. Alright, let's fight this guy, sure.
You're getting punished!
Okay. Oh, someone's still alive. But not anymore. Now that surely isn't it for this area. I guess there was a journal page and there is a way up here as well, but maybe that is the end of that. Yeah, it looks like it's actually a location that maybe we can drop into. But is mostly notable for the journal entry. Alright, we'll try this again. Maybe after checking this though. Yeah, finally a double tap. We haven't seen those in quite a long time. Double tap and sweep. We'll have to come back here and once again try to drag over to the moving platforms.
Cool!
Good thing there's that automatic form switch on Cheshire. Into the water. Yeah, once again, depth perception is going to be a bit of an issue for me here. There we go. Oh, yeah, Cheshire will have to climb in order to reunite, I think, because he'll be out of range for track back in. Yeah, because she'll come up here and then open up. All this. Oh. Raise Cheshire this way. Right, up he goes. Now let's reunite. And continue climbing. Alright, just more resources, but we won't say no to that. Continue. Yeah, it looks like we're near a fairly significant zone transition. Haven't found a sanctuary in this area just yet, though. Rather ominous close-up in the camera. Stillwater Manor. This is... First of all, a sanctuary, and secondly,
The
something very new.
ravages of time had not been kind to this palace, but they were unable to completely erase its former majesty. Cereza remembered hearing that long ago a fairy queen resided in just such a place.
And let's read the dialogue. Palace, bride of a fairy king. What an old rut. He must hate her guts or something. That is the queen's quarters. And here's a new sanctuary. Excellent. A little under-resourced for it, but let's check upgrades first. We'll obviously save here, and then we'll continue. Yeah, we've unlocked most things on this end. But since we can afford it, let's go for the Venom Thorn upgrade. And of course we don't have the Infernal Fruits for
This one?
Cheshire upgrade, so we won't
Yes!
be doing anything more on this pass. Treasure chest. There's quite a lot going on here. Let's save first.
Let's take a break.
And we'll see how to unlock this one. It is probably based on timed orbs. Yeah, it is. Well, we'll grab the journal page first, and then we'll see what we need to pay this guy. Arthur versus Jabberwock. It's a dream matchup, I suppose. Maybe Excalibur is the Vorpal Sword. That's a connection that we haven't made before. One-on-one duel at Hollow. So is Maldred somebody that we will face, or is just a figure out of the Avalon Arthurian legend in the notes? Anyway, let's talk to this guy and... Healing tonic? Yeah, we'll give you 3. Super lazy Cindy. We can spare that, even though we have been using a tiny handful of healing tonics throughout the play experience ourselves. Still feeling quite well stocked. When it comes to that. Okay, we do need to get in the water somehow so we can reach that. Otherwise I get the feeling this is not happening unless we spray it down. Yeah, we spray it down. Target practice. Okay, that would have been useful to know for some of the previous ones, in fact, that were also very time dependent.
Cool!
Yeah, the spray is essentially your ranged attack in this game, so... we will use it accordingly. And then proceed a little further. Well, quite a lot to see here, but Lily Pad is going to allow you to sail around it, and we'll see where we can go on foot first as well, since it looks like there's some gates to unlock. This is just treasure, so yeah, we'll be proceeding with the lily pad for main road. Very interesting looking environment already. Okay, at this point, let's get out of here. And then we'll explore a little bit and see what we can traverse. Let's look at the map. Yeah, there will be a Tirnanog soon to reveal something, but while we do that, let's grab the journal. And also what looks like a moon pearl.
Cheshire, over here!
Okay, moon pearl acquired. Once again. Let's go standard so we can actually do some attacks without burning off too much power. This looks climbable, but why? Doesn't really get me anywhere. By the looks of it. Okay, we have basically seen this end though, so let's... Oops. Propel ourselves over the other way. Oh, not like this. Did we check the left side? We haven't yet, but... Oh, whoops, wrong form. Ah, yes, because I ran myself out of power, that makes sense. Wait, let me check this. This is just where we came in. Yeah, no, that's where we came in earlier already. Doesn't look like that's interactable, but let's unlock this area. This is the only one in this zone, so it will also complete this part of the map. Looks like it's combat, but combat with some ice that we need to avoid in a flash. Who is it going to be? Okay. We will just be careful. What? Let's bring him down. Okay. 2 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna have some biggies here. Probably. Spray down. Nope, not good. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, as long as we avoid the ice, we're probably going to be fine. And then, as long as we avoid the ice. Like I was saying. combo into this. We can. Right, need the Earth Shield off. Right, because the spellcaster actually puts the Earth Shield on some of the hands here. I need to spray him down a bit, I think. Where's Cheshire? Oh, Cheshire's down. Okay, no wonder. No wonder we have some issues here. I was not really watching that accurately at all. Oop, wrong way. Yeah, he does need to knock out the fire shield. We'll try to take some of these guys down as quickly as possible. Yeah, and then maybe do a water combo. Okay. Yeah. Much better. Running out of time for this guy though, but maybe he's going to be the last. Okay. I'm standing a bit close to the ice here. Okay, not a lot of time for this guy. We trap him. Okay. 17 seconds to deal with him. That's not a whole lot. Well, but we have some of these additional little guys here that could maybe extend my clock. Not a lot of time. We're gonna run out. Yeah, too much dead time in the middle there because we had a long segment where he got damaged. Yeah, we'll try again. This is one of the more elaborate ones that we've seen so far as combat challenges go. We haven't seen one with such a long timer and so many enemies up to this point, so we can't be losing too much time early. We must have been pretty close to the end, though, I would think. But the energy management is going to be something that we need to watch out for here. And then we'll try to do this. Elemental combo if we can. Can we lock him? There we go. Okay. And then, yeah, between enemies we try to hug to replenish, which is an ability I should use more of, given that we now have it. So just try to trap him. If you're really switching water, maybe try to quench the weapon. Out of energy again here. We just need to get the hug going and then okay. We can lock him down until I'm back out. Able to deal with him. Doing much better. We're about a minute ahead of where we were in the previous attempt, so. Try to do a lockdown of these guys too. Oh, a little too much damage. much. I haven't been able to do this damageless, at least on Cereza herself. But we do need to make sure we don't get hit too hard along the way. Maybe try to get the combo into this guy here. Nope. Too close to the ice once again. Nope. This is taking way too many hits. Nope. Just haven't been able to get him. Oh, we have more small enemies here. I actually didn't realize. Yeah, we lost so much time on this big guy here. Five seconds. Wait, we can chomp to finish. Nope, not if we get iced. Yeah, we burned a whole minute on that guy and just didn't get any hits in because it was dashing around. We were doing much better up to that point. Let's do it again.